All right, you guys, it is Saturday, September 30th, and we have the legend of freestyle, the father of freestyle, MC Supernatural in Colorado Springs to do our podcast. Now, of course, life is ridiculous. Earlier this week, my daughter got RSV, and she had to be in the hospital because they had a little fluid in her lungs, and I had to stay the night. And it's been a domino effect of me not getting any sleep. And you hear my voice. I don't know if you can hear it, but my voice is kind of shaky. So it's crazy because MC Supernatural is one of the freestyle rappers I've looked up to my whole life as the greatest freestyler. It was always the people I looked up to when I was in the battle rap arena when I was young. This is, late 90s, early 2000s was MC Supernatural, MC Juice, and Idea. So if you're on the channel, you guys already know I'm always talking about that stuff. So for me, personally, to have MC Supernatural in my hometown, an example for me, this is how much I look up to this man. He's literally put freestyling on the map, right? Like in the sense of turning freestyle into a routine and turning it into a show, right? The 3-word routine. Give me 3 words. He invented that. The 3 MCs. So it's incredible. Like I'm kind of tripping out. I'm on my way to pick him up at the hotel right now, and it's tripping me out because it's like I feel like I'm picking up Michael Jordan to go play a game. You know what I'm saying? To go, hey, I'm picking up Jordan to go play some ball at 24 Hour Fitness. Like this is just my life. Like this, it's really crazy to me. So I'm super excited, and it's gonna go down. The homie Joey Sparks is filming this vlog, editing it. He's gonna help shoot the interview and building with Supernat. When I picked him up last night from the airport, he's just a free soul, just like the freestyle stuff, and he's kind of in flow state. So I don't even know what's gonna come of this content because he's just down. He's just like, yeah, let's just go with the flow. Like, maybe we'll kick some freestyles in public, maybe we won't. Like, so I don't know. I'm pretty excited, you guys. It's super dope. Unfortunately, my voice is wilding out right now, but we gonna get it popping real quick. Trying to get all this stuff set up. So let's just keep things moving and see where Don's in the mix. We got a bunch, teamwork makes the dream work, right? So we just got to make everything line up. All right, hopefully he gets that text. So yeah, I'm excited about this one. Looking through some of MC Supernatural's Instagram, and I think the craziest thing I saw was a flyer that he's on performing, and Biggie is on the flyer, and so is the Fugees. That's insane. That's insane. That's insane, yo. So, yeah, man, it's about to go down. He said he was in the lobby, but I don't know if that has changed since we told him we'd be here. So we'll see how it goes. What's good, man? What's up? What's good, man?
Your coast contrast shirt on, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah. What's good, man?
Now talk about one with my yard, man.
Just me.
Oh, okay.
If I would say hey, we know each other. So yeah, the language.
Small world.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm just coming down Simon and I look at his feet and say, that look like me.
Yeah.
And then I say something and he say, yo. And he say, yeah.
Yeah. That's ill.
So stay. If you need anything else.
All right, good.
Leave the eye.
All right. Little more. Yeah.
Little more, seeing God speak.
You need me to grab anything for you?
I'm gonna run back to the road, just grab that right there.
Okay, got you. He's got his drum machine with him, because if y'all don't know that he actually makes beats. So he makes artwork, he makes beats, he freestyles. I mean, a bunch of different stuff. So it's Super cool.
And just like that, I have linked with MC Supernatural. Now I want to take him to go get some food at a really dope food spot. It's kind of like a brunch breakfast spot, but yo, enjoy this adventure and journey. This is all behind the scenes, just real conversation. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Let's go.
I did the exact same thing. I walked out of my house, like I have everything, like mics for his camera, da-da-da-da. And I'm like, yo, where's my phone?
I usually keep my shit.
My shit was just on my bed. I was like, Frank, I forgot there's a restaurant right there, but I don't really.
That shit looks sketchy as fuck. I went out there this morning.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, what time did you get up?
Bro, I can't help it. My fucking biological clock is tuned in to 5:30.
No way.
Precise.
Bro, I left at 3.
I know. I laid down for that little bit of time. 5:30 hit. My eyes open up. Even if I'm super tired, I still always wake up every day at that hour.
What type of diet are you on?
I just don't eat a lot of meat.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I will eat fish and stuff like that. I was probably just gonna get some omelet or something like that.
Gotcha.
I see they got
Eggs.
veggie chorizo.
Yeah.
I'll still eat eggs. I'll still eat cheese. I try not to, but you know. But at home, I'm like very focused on the way I eat because I don't really eat out. That's another thing. That's always like a treat for me. I cook. I'm a super chef.
Yeah.
I get busy. Next time I come, I have to cook for you.
That's crazy. Yeah, so I don't know if I told you the story a little bit, but my daughter, she got arthritis. I was gonna say the reason I think she got arthritis, but they will censor that or ban it on YouTube. So I'll tell you that off camera, why she got arthritis, why I think she got arthritis. But she got arthritis, bro, at 1 year old. And
that doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't. On a healthy child who ain't never had sugar in her life, because we wouldn't even introduce sugar into her diet. So long story short, we found they wanted to put her on this. It's not a cancer drug, but it is a drug they use for kids in cancer called methotrexate. And my mom passed away from cancer. I saw her be tortured for 15 years.
My mom beat breast cancer.
Yeah.
You know?
So you know the type of thing.
And go through all of that shit.
And it's one of the things, it seems like once you start, it might be a never-ending cycle if you don't correct certain things. Long story short, I was like, that's not happening.
Cancer's big business, and I know it sounds terrible to say, but it's big business for them.
Yeah.
Because you can just push that narrative, and they're gonna need this medicine for infinite.
Yeah.
Well, that's an infinite bill too.
Yep.
As well as stress on top of that.
Yeah.
Man, 1 year old baby girl.
So she has arthritis, and they want to put her on a cancer drug to put it in remission. I was just like, nah. So we started seeking out alternative routes through like homeopathic medicine and naturopathic medicine. Long story short, after spending tons of money, we got her on this diet. And it's actually what changed my mind, because like, I think it was in 2011, I went vegan for a full year. And then I went back just to eating super clean, you know, introducing like grass-fed meat and just like clean food. And I wasn't able to keep certain strength when I was doing the full vegan thing, but at that time too, like I didn't really know what I was doing. And now, like you gotta think 2011 to now, the type of food and access to supplements is different.
And not only that though, you know, and the plant, there's all type of shit out there, but they're still processing a lot of the plant-based food too.
Yeah,
so
and all that pea protein oil and stuff, that's not good for you. All these little seed oils are so bad for you. And a lot of times they put that as the replacement in vegan stuff. So long story short, the diet was almost just meat and fruit. She like, because they tested her blood and all this stuff that could inflame, you know, or have a reaction. And when it came down to it, it was just meat and fruit for the most part, a couple of types of vegetables. We start getting her on this strict diet, and it was so hard because she's so young, but man, her arthritis went away.
Yeah, that first of all, it probably would have went away on its own, to be truthful with you. A lot of the doctors, they'll misdiagnose shit based off of what they think it is. Like, she's 1 year old, her body hasn't even fully developed yet.
Yeah.
Her bones are not even fully developed, let alone her joints. Arthritis is something that happens in your joints is over time. And if she's 1 year old, what the fuck? You feeding her fucking spoonfuls of sugar from the time she was born to one?
Yeah.
It's just like, it doesn't make total sense, but we always were taught that doctors know best, but nature knows better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just the way I always look at things. It's like, thank God she's all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that just sounded sketchy. Like,
hey, Joey, you'll have to bleep this part out.
So this part right here, I asked Joey just to go ahead and mute, because I know how it gets on YouTube when you start talking about medicine or pharmaceutical companies or even medical procedures. You know, ever since 2020, there's been a lot of different things going on. But right here, we have a very good dialogue about the current state of what you would call like allopathic medicine, which is Western medicine versus Eastern medicine. And we kind of talk about how certain things we think should be integrated, but I kind of go off the rails because that's just my personality. And I like to open people up to these ideas or thoughts that I have as I'm building my stance on certain things very specifically that are somewhat nuanced, but definitely controversial. So if you could only imagine what is controversial since 2020, yes, that's what we're talking about here. But from the OG, I actually got some really cool insights, and I like to get pushback on these ideas that I have and certain thought patterns, because that candor, that back and forth helps you develop solid stances. That's why we actually need more free speech, so we can debate on a public platform and have these conversations in a public space. You know what I mean?
listen, man, may I take you to Jamaica and have you drink a couple of bottles of bitter? That's all you need. You want to get cleared out, drink some of that.
Yeah.
It's just, we live in a society, man, we fucking robots. It's robotic. Everything we do is robotic. The way we approach life, the way that we treat our bodies, the way that we treat other people. You know, the way that we rely only on the science of medicine. Real medicine comes from
nature,
the shit that's around us.
You
dig what I'm saying? But over time, we've been conditioned. You gotta think about the Ganges River in fucking India. It's one of the most polluted rivers forever, but they believe that washing in that shit heals them. And a lot of times it does, you know what I mean? Like, you have people that make pilgrimages to come jump in that dirty shit, but, and I don't mean to say that disrespectful to anybody, but it's a known fact it's one of the dirtiest places. But in the same breath, it's just like the world we live in, man, is not constructed for us to live properly. You know, this world is contingent upon dependency in every way. You know, make them dependent on their phones, make them dependent on the grocery store, make
them dependent on the medicine.
You know, and you know, back in the day, like one of the things that I grew up with, my grandmother, she had one of the illest gardens in the city. You know, and I used to love going there and eating at her house, because I knew it was kind of a mind thing for me, because I'm like, damn, she grew this and we eating it. You know, I remember seeing a goat in the backyard one time, and then that shit was hooked up later on. You know, like when I was a youth, like shit like that.
You don't F with? Do you F with trap beats at all?
Certain ones. I'm not a fan of it. It's just repetitive music, man. It all sounds the same to me. You know, to each his own. To people that love what they love, I don't knock them, but I don't like to be knocked for my own thing. What I like. You know what I mean? Like, everybody don't like boom bap. Everybody don't like spacey beats, but there's a few of them that's dope. You know, there's some of those dudes you can actually tell they really know how to program music and flip music. And then there's other cats that don't. You know, they just go through the motions. Because with all the sample packs and all the shit that's out now, it's not hard. Make what you like. I watched a dude on one of those sites. He just pulled drums, bass line, drums, bass line, and then he put in a melody and all of these other little pieces, and then he just hit blend. That shit made a whole beat. To me, that was just like, what is that? Like, that's not cool.
Man, this is epic. Being able to hang out and chill with someone I looked up to so much from my teenage years is actually kind of blows my mind, even looking back at this footage. Now, he just sprinkles gems and we're just having really good conversations, and this helped me get comfortable right before we do the interview and podcast. As you see, it's a beautiful day. Now, when you're watching some of this footage, you can see in my eyes, I'm pretty tired. I had been going crazy trying to get ready for this thing and make it all line up properly. But here we are, a beautiful day in Colorado Springs, and we're really gonna make this happen. So yeah, right now we're about to link up with Don at Urban Egg. Now, this is one of my favorite eateries. I guess that's what you call it, right? In Colorado in general. But their brunch and breakfast is so on point. So we're gonna see what the OG has to say, if he's vibing, you know what I mean? But we about to do this, just get some food and just have that, you know, that camaraderie and just build. So nothing better to do that over a fresh meal that you really enjoy. Oh, and Joey joined us.
Yeah. No, that's a good cup. I appreciate a good cup of coffee. I was just telling him last night, I got it bad. Like, I'm trying to dial it back. But yeah, I am truly, when I went to Amsterdam for the first time and I was like, oh, you can smoke with coffee all the time? I never even thought of doing that. It was like a new world for me. I came home and went crazy. No, me and him kept chopping it up, but it was a good conversation. When the conversation is good, it's just...
Well, and then he was showing me like a bunch of history, and the one that I still can't get out the mind is the flyer with him, Biggie, and the Fugees. I'm like, that's
Bro,
crazy.
I've definitely, like when I showed him that, I was like, check this one out. Because I found that in my, I got a lot of memorabilia too. Just some of the shit that I've been able to see and be around has been epic.
I mean, you were in New York in the craziest era. I mean, you got there in '89, right?
So
it's
yeah.
like you got to watch the whole evolution.
But it was a fun one.
The craziest thing about me and his history is he's the one that I met at a call center, and I was writing rhymes, and he saw my paper. He's like, yo, what you writing? I was like, nothing. And he's kind of like, yo, you writing rhymes, man. And he's like, I read it when you went to break, and it's hot. And he's
You
the
know
one,
what, you
and he-
evil bastard.
Yeah.
I would want to kill you.
Or he was pissed. He was like, right?
Well,
he was, like,
MCs
talking
are
to
very
himself.
personal about
He was
that.
talking to
But it's kind of
himself.
dope the way y'all met, though.
But this is what's crazy is he was the one, he read in the rhyme Black Pegasus. He's like, so you Black Pegasus? And that was the day I was just like, yeah. So fast forward, because his dad was in New York. So he went to New York, and it was kind of like his trip to Mecca, right? Where he learned about hip hop, and he kind of put me on to a bunch of like the East Coast stuff. And so fast forward, we become friends. We mess around rhyming at the workplace. I go to this party with him, and they got turntables and a mic. And he just starts freestyling, and then he just looks at me and gives me the mic. And I remember, because that's the first time I ever grabbed the mic or did anything in a public. And he was like, do that shit you do at work. And I was so nervous, but then I just did it, and it opened the floodgates. Ever since then, it was just
Remember what I was saying last night when I was saying when he's around his buddies, you're around your boys, and you rap for the first time, and you putting your foot in the water. It's that taste, and once you taste it, it's forever. You know.
It's wild.
I remember I think I first started rhyming. I would say I was 7th grade. Just coming 7th grade. My mom had bought the Rapper's Delight record. My mom used to go buy records every Friday. Yeah. That was a tradition. Like, she'd get her paycheck, she'd go buy 3 new joints, so you never know what would be coming out. So it'd be the Isaacs, the Commodores, the OJs, you know, Cool in the Gang, you know, it was just, but I remember the day she brought that record in. I just remember the cover, that little sun cover, you know, the way Sugar Hill's cover was. And I remember looking at the way the words was written on the record. I was like, Rapper's Delight. You know, 7 years old, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Ooh. And so I'm like, when they left, of course, because we wasn't allowed to touch the turntable or nothing. So I remember she left to go, her and my father would go bowling on Wednesdays. You know, at like 6 o'clock, they would leave the house, go bowling. And so that would be my time to listen to all of the records that they wouldn't let me listen to, and I would listen to all that shit. But I remember when I put that fucking Rapper's Delight on and I heard that for the first time, it was like drugs to my ears. I was so fascinated by that. I was like, yo, this is crazy. And then like right after that, I seen Wild Style like a month after that. And I just lost my mind. And I remember like, it became almost like a mission every time my parents left to go listen to that record. And I listened to it so much that I learned all the rhymes on it. And then I got, you know, like anything with a kid, you get bored.
Yeah.
And I got bored. And then one day I turned that shit off. I turned the record. I said, I wonder what's on. I never listened to the other side. I said, I wonder what's on the other side. And it was an instrumental. And I remember practicing rapping their raps over the instrumental until one day I was like, you know what? I just put the record on and I started rapping my own shit. And I was just making it up. And in my brain, I really thought
How old were you when that happened?
I was probably like in the 7th grade.
Okay.
In my mind, I was so jaded by the thought process of how it was created. I thought that's how they did it. So when I see them walk up to each other in Wild Style and they was like, yo, I'm the K, Kevin K, I thought they was just making that shit up. So that's why my freestyle became so tight so early, because I didn't have any fear. You know, I didn't know the other side. So naturally I was just going off of instinct. You know, and so it developed. And then when I finally seen cats like with notebooks and shit, like when I got to New York, I seen like my homie, he actually walked with a notebook everywhere. And I was like, yo, what you doing? You know, he's like, I'm writing raps.